Talk about burn down options. This, one of the first things that I looked at when I joined staff or the faculty back in 1980, we were doing some work trying to kill wheat. And I thought, gosh, that can't be a big deal. Surely it's not that difficult to control. But you know what? Believe it or not, sometimes wheat can be a challenge to get really complete control. Back in 2007, when we were experiencing some issues, we thought, you know what, maybe this would be an opportunity for us to try to develop some options here, at least, and look at, kind of get reacquainted, is to look at some of the burn down options with Roundup. In this case, I call it Weather Max. I adjusted the rate so that it would be according to the Weather Max label. In 2007 is when we did this work in the spring. We looked at Roundup Weather Max is 16, 22, and 32 ounces. Compared that with paraquat or Gramoxone NTM at 2 and 3 pints per acre. That's with no atrazine, and then we combined it with atrazine and a quart and a half per acre. Okay, and having said that and done that, look at the control. 16 ounces was not real consistent, at least at lower, at the smaller ones. And about this is the height of the wheat at the time, 3 inches, 4.5, and 12.5 inches. Can't explain why this one was such a bomb, but it certainly didn't. It wasn't nearly as consistent as it is when you bump those rates up. And certainly that 32 ounce, and I think 32 ounces is probably the norm for us now. It used to be a quart, not a quart, but a quart of the old Roundup, if you will. Okay, but this one, I feel, given with what we're dealing with weed resistance, we're leaning more and more on that higher end rate, that's 32 ounces. For lots of weeds, not just trying to kill wheat, but other weeds as well. Looking at Gramoxone, and Gramoxone kind of does what it does. It sometimes can be real fickle with trying to kill wheat, especially as you get toward the fact that where the wheat is fully filtered and just about the joint. That time frame and wheat and a lot of other grasses as well is when it can be a challenge to control it. Likewise, I will say this off the beaten path is that, that's a stage where wheat is fairly tolerant to growth regulators like 2,4-B or dicam. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to kill, but it's greater degree of tolerance to some of the growth regulators during that window stage of growth. All right, so a little bit of atrazine. There's no doubt that atrazine, I think, does give us a boost in control, even with Roundup. Initially, if we're going through a grade of this, initially it kind of slows it down. But at the end of the day, it really, I think it does give you a slight edge for managing wheat with Roundup, and especially with Gramoxone or paraquat. That's almost a given. If I'm using Gramoxone, hopefully we're going to corn, will allow us opportunity to let atrazine help us out. Okay, atrazine is not perfect, but it does really give you a boost in control, especially with contact like Gramoxone. We repeated the study in 2008, and the same story is that Roundup is certainly, or glyphosate itself, was more consistent than paraquat, which is probably not a real big surprise. But bumping that rate up helped, and throwing atrazine in there is every bit as good. In many cases, when we put atrazine in there with it. Okay. I'm not out here promoting the use of Gramoxone, as you can tell. It is somewhat inconsistent. But there may be occasions where you need a quick burn down, get rid of this stuff right now, and be able to plant into something that's mostly dead material. Especially if you've got bulbs. Now, granted, probably that's not a really big thing for most people who have wheat, but occasionally those are issues that are out there that we have to deal with and get rid of that wheat as quickly as possible. In order to do that, we're trying to eliminate that food source for those bulbs. That's the goal of doing it as quickly as possible. Gramoxone, I think, does that. Okay, let's do some other slides here. This is, if you attended our wheat field school here a couple of weeks ago, we went through some various scenarios and share with you, this is one of those scenarios. We were looking at spraying wheat with glyphosate. In this case, it's Glystar Plus at 2.67 ounces. That's the equivalent of about 1 ounce acid equivalent, okay? That might be easy to do, but it's a very low rate, okay? And the idea was kind of sublethal rate, but what does it look like? What does the symptoms look like? For example, if you think your tank out real good, like in this case, that's probably some don't relate to that kind of environment, okay? This is without AMS, and by the way, at the end of the plot, these plots, you'll see there's a height difference here. That last 5 feet of that plot area is what we did spray. We stopped, boom, up to that point. So you can see what the impact, the real impact of that herbicide was in that particular environment. And no doubt that no AMS did stop its growth, but we get probably a little more phytal activity here if we throw in AMS. Okay. We bumped that right up to 5.35 ounces, which is the equivalent of 2 ounces, roughly 2 ounces of acid equivalent of glyphosate itself. And there's no doubt that there is some pretty decent activity going on. You got it at the end of the plot here, right before you get to that untreated strip. That's kind of like a sinkhole, so don't take that into your mind here. What's going on with that particular plot? But certainly more activity going on there. And then if we go up to the rate of 32 ounces, there's no doubt that, we didn't need AMS. And this is one of those cases where I would say, you know what, you can add AMS if you think you need to, but I don't know, if you're using a higher end rates, you probably are overwhelming that system where you don't necessarily need to have ammonium sulfate. Yeah, it's generally pretty cheap. There have been times when ammonium sulfate was as expensive or as much as glyphosate, when glyphosate was cheap. I just tell people, why add AMS? Just throw in extra Roundup, glyphosate. You get broader spectrum weed control, and you overcome that antagonism effect sometimes that you'll see when you're tank mixing with some of the products, especially things like atrazine or any of those kind of the flowables or dry flowables. You can sometimes limit the activity of glyphosate, but in putting in AMS does help you overcome it. All right. Now, if you're a commercial applicator, some number of you heard me say, it speeds the activity up. And there's nothing better for you to, when you leave the field, you'd like to see this stuff working today. It's obviously glyphosate that's not going to happen. It's slow. But this used AMS does seem to speed up its activity. Helps you get to that point a little bit faster. And if I'm an applicator, or if I'm farming bunches of acres, that's what I want to see. I want to see this stuff die fast, because I don't want to sit here and wait. Okay, enough of that. Atrazine by itself at 3 quarts. Now, we're not going to use 3 quarts of atrazine, but you can envision a double application, 4.5. Does it have activity on wheat? Yeah, there's no doubt it does, but it's not going to kill wheat. Okay, even at 3 quarts to the acre, it's not going to kill wheat. At least when wheat was established, it's like this in the spring. This had been applied back about a month before this picture was taken. Okay. Wheat that's been damaged by this experience at these cold temperatures is no doubt that in some cases it's probably going to impact its growth. But you know what? I don't think it's going to kill plants. We're going to have survivors. You're going to have some killers out there that come back. And if you make the decision on, it's time for me to terminate this crop and get on with my life, then, so be it. But if you're going to plant another crop in here, you better plan on trying to do something to manage those plants that come back from those secondary and tertiary killers. You've got to do something to manage those, because they're just going to become a weed if you don't. You got to get rid of those. Using glyphosate, as I said earlier, it's slow. It's especially slow when we're dealing early in the spring, when we get cool temperatures around 50 degrees. What we'd like to have no less than that, ideally, because again, it goes back to the speed of control. Okay, this activity. Use at least 1 1/3 pounds acid equivalent. I'll give you an example of Paraquat or of Power Max. That's a quart. okay, or it's 3 times of some of the generics that are out there. That's the rate that we're starting at, okay? No less than that. Adding atrazine does sometimes slow the response of glyphosate, but at the end of the day, it can boost control, as I showed in that earlier picture. Ammonium sulfate improves control, especially if we have hard water or mix it with certain herbicides. Okay, it will give you better control. Okay. Paraquat has to have good coverage. That's nothing new. Ideally, you'd like to have 15 to 20 gallons per acre of spray volume. And when you're dealing with the type of growth biomass out there that you have out there right now, you need every bit of water you can to get good spray coverage of those plants out there. 3/4 of a pound active ingredient, that's the equivalent of about 3 pints of amoxone. Okay. That runs you about $15 an acre. Glyphosate at that rate runs you about half that. Amoxone is going to be a more expensive option. Control can be a rag, especially if it's fully tilled and jointing, and that growth stage, it does make it a challenge to try to control it. Adding atrazine can enhance control. In fact, I think in most cases it will enhance. Atrazine has, I showed that earlier slide, it has foliar activity, but it also has soil activity. Now, having said that, we go out and spray, we have a dry spring, it doesn't rain, and it doesn't get that stuff down to the root zone. You know, you're missing that second punch. First punch is on what you're trying to do on the foliage, and then that second way of getting into the plant is up to the root. So you got to have some kind of rainfall, get it all the leaves into the ground, and the roots where you want them. That's the optimum to get the benefit out of that. Some years, atrazine it doesn't work as well because we're dealing with the dry environment. Okay, before I leave this, this is what we're trying to do to attempt to control wheat in a burn down situation if we want to transition to another crop. Have any questions on this for the moment? Yes.
What was your spray volume on that previous chart?
20 gallons per acre. Yeah. Most of the stuff that we spray with is usually either 15 to 20 gallons per acre, and those, I believe, I'm pretty sure, and just correct me, he's shaking his head, yeah, it's 20. Yeah. Okay. Let me transition and talk about some of the label restrictions, because that's something that we don't like to have to deal with. And to be honest about it, we're probably not in a really big fix here. I don't see there's been a lot of things out there that's going to raise a red flag for us, but there are a few that you need to pay attention to. Okay, and we're sending out a newsletter here that will have a list of all the weed herbicides and the label restrictions for those. But in the meantime, let me just try to highlight some of the ones that I want you to be aware of. Probably won't impact it, but you might want to know. Talking about these forage and feeding restrictions for the weed herbicides, Axial XL, that's the one we use for managing grasses and wheat. Really deep, that's really a good herbicide for managing Italian ryegrass. 30 days for grazing, 30 days for hay. That used to be about 120, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me, but I think it used to be like 120 days. That label has been amended since it first came out. Clarity and most of the other dicamba products like Banbull, why not go down the list, 37 days for lactating animals, both hay and grazing. Harmony Extra, this label came about, a change actually. Harmony's been on the market for what, 25 onward. And for the longest time, we didn't have much leeway in trying to use Harmony where we wanted to use it, grow the crop as a sweet silage or wheat forage product. A few years ago, those labels were amended by DuPont and gave us more flexibility, thank God. 7 days for grazing for both Harmony and Harmony SG, soluble granule. 30 days for hay. Go down to PowerFlex. Again, it's one of those wheat herbicides that we use for managing Italian ryegrass. Actually, it's got some pretty decent activity on other broadleaf wheat. 7 days and 28 days. 7 days for grazing, 28 days for growing it for hay and sprout. I put this one in here. There may be people in here, and I know there are some people in the room that use some sprout. You can technically spray sprout up about near the fly base. We're not going to, that's not a use that I think we promote, because if the ryegrass and other weeds are up and growing, this thing's not going to kill any emergency point. It's not going to happen. So we're going to spray that sprout more likely in the fall around weed emergence. So, but I'm throwing in here just to make you aware that there are those 11-day and 28-day restrictions. Qlix is a Dow AgriScience product that's just came to the market. And it's another one of the growth regulators, if you will. But it has some pretty good flexibility on timing the wheat. Restrictions are 7 days for grazing, 21 days for Qlix and hay. So that's probably a decent enough time frame for us to use this product and still get by with it if we kill the weed off. Osprey is, I'll go back and say, it's an ALS product. We use it for managing Italian ryegrass. It's a 30-day and a 60-day restriction for hay. Okay. Y'all notice this table? What's their unique kind of a trend here? Hay versus grazing or other means of forage. See a trend between the two columns? Looks like hay is a little more time frame, would you say? Is there a reason for that? What do you think? Have I got a guess? Well, which is going to have the most concentrated spread product, and if there happens to be any residue left in it, which one of the two, hay or green foliage, which is going to be grazed, which is going to be the most concentrated? Hay.
Yeah.
So they're making an allowance here of spending that time for hay. So if you're growing wheat for hay, you especially want to watch some of these label restrictions. They'll get you or not. In this case, I really don't think any of these will get us where we are right now. When we kill the weeds off, I think we'll probably be okay. But nonetheless, check the label. Make sure that you are within what the label says. Rotational crop restrictions for weed herbicides. Again, go through this list. Axial is a 90 days for corn and 90 days for soybeans. For finesse, which we have acres out there that are being sprayed for ryegrass and broadleaf weeds. Finesse is not what I'd say a really great ryegrass herbicide. It's about 70% control. But it's one of those products that is used on quite a few acres. ALS chemistry. 4 months for both. If you're going to rotate the beans, you got a little more flexibility. Both is similar to the STS, but it has a higher degree of tolerance, if you will, to these ALS products compared to STS. Okay, so it's a little bit better protection, if you will. So if you're looking for something to give you some protection against carryover, especially to finesse, because finesse is persistent. You got to brace yourself. This is one of those things you probably want to pay real close attention to label restrictions on these, what your options are. 6 months for STS soybeans, so it tells you that it is a little bit greater degree of protection. 18 months for non-STS, so that's, we're not going to do non-STS thing. And we're probably not going to rotate the corn anytime soon. Finesse grass and broadleaf. That's for corn requires a field bioassay. How many people in here? Because there's a number of products on there that say you have to have a field bioassay. How many people do that? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. PowerFlex is 9 months, and then for corn and 3 months for soybeans. When it first came out, they had a longer label restriction, and it was not nearly as flexible. They have amended that and brought it more in line with where I think we get by. They use PowerFlex and plant beans safely. Osprey is a 90-day, both field corn and soybeans. So these are the ones, like I said, that you need to know about. I don't know that many of these will have a big impact, but certainly keep in mind if you're using one of these up here on this list, you want to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to in terms of plant back. Okay, let me stop and pause here. Any comments or questions now? And if not, we'll have an opportunity, I think, right, Edwin?
Yes.
Later. Comments?